Hey guys, welcome back to the ExamRevision YouTube channel. My name is Ellen and today I want to be talking about some last minute tips to succeed in leaving Cert Irish. Obviously the exams are getting extremely close now, so these aren't going to magically get you a H1 or anything like that. But they definitely might help get you some extra points, might help you with your study in the next couple of weeks. Just some last minute tips and tricks that might help you out a little bit. The first thing I want to talk about is reusing things that you have already learned. What I mean by that is obviously for your oral there a couple of months ago, you learned a bunch of nice phrases, a bunch of nice vocab on things you like or your hobbies or your family, and you have lovely phrases that you learned and used. I really think you should be reusing all of that information. You can use it in your ASHA, for example. There's no point in trying to cram in a bunch of new information. If you still have your flashcards from your oral, take them back out again, re-jog your memory, and I just think it makes so much more sense to reuse the things that you've already learned. They're already inside your head, you just have to remember them again. Instead of trying to learn a bunch of new phrases when the paper exam and the oral are two completely different things, you can reuse all of that vocab and all of those phrases again. It will just save you a lot more time on learning new things and new nice vocab and new phrases. So use that to your advantage. You've already learned it for the oral, so it is in your head somewhere. You just might need to re-jog your memory a little bit. Obviously before your paper exam, you have your Aural exam. The Aural can really go one of two ways. It can go really difficult and badly for people if the accent that the person is talking in is like a Donegal accent or something and it's hard to understand. Or obviously if it's just someone from Dublin or something, it will sound normal to you and you'll be able to understand what they're saying a lot more. But you really do need to practice in the next couple of weeks leading up to your exam every single accent there is out there. The Aural exams for all of the past years are up online, so go through like the past 10 years, they're all gonna be different accents, and correct yourself because obviously all of the answers are online as well. I think it's really important, instead of just hoping that the accent is great and that you will understand it, you really do need to practice those hard accents like a Donegal accent so that you do feel a little more prepared for the exam. Because if you walk in there and you haven't practiced any of those difficult ones and you hear a Donegal man talking, you're gonna feel screwed. So just take some time, practice the harder accents. It will definitely be worthwhile if a difficult accent comes up. If you do practice the harder accents, you definitely might understand a little bit more when you actually sit the oral exam. For the pros and filioct, I would definitely recommend looking at like sample essays and the sample exam paper answers. It can really help you understand what the examiners are looking for if you're looking at the past paper solutions online. Look at the questions, look at the answers it's giving you. It can kind of give you an idea of how the examiner wants you to structure it, how it wants you to answer it, how long it should be, all of these kinds of things. And it can be a really good insight, because even if you have a great answer to the pros and filioct, you don't know what the examiner is looking for and how they're going to mark it. You could even take some vocab from it, some nice phrases, and use that in your answer, but the past paper solutions will give you the best idea of how they want you to answer it. And so doing that can obviously maximize the amount of points you can get in that section. Obviously in Irish, grammar is a huge thing and super important. Definitely the week or two before the exam, I think you should definitely be revising that grammar. Use flashcards for different verbs, different tenses. I know most people who are actually like Irish and are good at it don't really need that and don't really feel the need to look at that. But honestly, I do think it is really important, especially in the essay type questions. Getting the tense right is very important to how the examiner is going to read off your answer. If you have a great essay but all of the tenses and the grammar is just not really right, it's not going to add great flow. It's really going to disrupt the examiner who's correcting the paper. So definitely just have a quick revise over that, use flashcards, because it is really important at the end of the day. Like I was talking about in my last video for last minute tips for English, you definitely need to revise your quotes for the pros. Obviously like the key themes, the characters, how they evolve and like their importance. These are really important, and if you really don't feel confident in the pros, learning off those quotes is so important, because if you have quotes to work from, you can build an answer around that. The last thing I want to touch on is obviously prioritizing the questions that you feel the most confident in. Obviously the oral is first, you have to do that first. But when you actually open the paper, there's no need that you have to do the comprehension first, or you have to answer the ASHA next or whatever. If you have literally learned the quotes like the night before and they're fresh in your memory, go and answer that question first so you can get that out of your head and you can forget about them, and you're not going to be stressing doing this question, still trying to remember these from last night, all these quotes. Answer what you feel most confident in first, read through the paper, see how you feel. The Irish exam is built around you will have enough time. Obviously you definitely need to keep track of your time, but it is built that you will have enough time, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. Answer what you feel like you want first. If the comprehension seems the easiest, do that first. But have a read through the paper. You don't want to be doing your comprehension and being like, oh my god, what is the question going to be for the pros? What is the question going to be for the filioct? Oh my god, I'm so scared. Look through the paper, calm your nerves a little bit, and start off what you think is easiest. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video and it maybe gave you some little tips and tricks to help and bring into the Irish exam. I really really hope the papers go well this year, and they're pretty nice papers, hopefully. And yeah, I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye! Also guys, be sure to check out the ExamRevision courses and bundles. I actually have a 20% off code for you. I'll put it on the screen now. They cover majority of the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert subjects. They have H1 standard notes, video lessons, presentations, quizzes, exam questions, everything you will need to succeed in the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert.